Gujarat State. At present, I am working as an assistant professor in Navratna University and work with the SERAN, that is the new chapter, or it will be the part of the section also. So I'm the leading membership in that. And at present in India, like restoration is a bug, because as you know, if you know that the location of India is a very dynamic locations, and plus we have a lots of habitat, intact habitat, and we are also blessed with lots of ecosystem, different ecosystem we have. So basically, at present, I had work as a conservationist, then ecologist. Basically, I'm zoologist, and now I'm also inclined into the restoration practices. So I'm the one of the young restoration practitioner from the India and Gujarat state. So basically, India is divided into the states, and the state divided into district and the cities. So now I'm going to present. I share my presentation. Okay. Yes. Share. Is it visible? Is it visible?
Yes, it's
Yeah. Thank you. So basically, I'm going to present about the SERAN and the restoration work in Gujarat as well as India. As I have already told you that the India is a budding now. So main topics I will cover in this about the SERAN, its goals and challenges. Subgroup of SERAN, you can join it. Restoration project in India, about India and Gujarat, and I will take a one project that is related to the wetlands. So as you all know that the SERAN is the so you can see that the blue color one, this is the all the Asian countries. Now we had analyzed there are the lots of different ecosystem in a different Asian countries. As you all know, that is the 50 Asian countries are there. So from wetland to the terrestrial, we actually divide into the land and the land and water ecosystem. So again, water ecosystem divide into the freshwater and the marine. So we have a marine ecosystem, we have agriculture, freshwater, and depending on the different ecosystems, we have a different experts, we have a different ecologist, we have a different restoration practitioner, policy maker, marine biologist, 4 persons, then the wildlife biology, 4 persons. The maximum we are covering ecosystem restoration, forest ecology, and all these are the different distributions of the expert in the all over Asian countries. So at present, SERAN is it starts from the 2021, that is immediate after COVID. So main our goal is connect with the different chapters, different subgroups, NGOs, institutes. So whatever the stakeholders are there. So we want to build the SERAN Asian networks, and we would like to collaborate with the different university as well as different people. So this subgroup is everybody known that the UN decade have planned for the UN decade have planned for the next years or the 30-year restoration things, right? So as I have told you, that is already present, that it is a budding. Like we have lots of ecosystem are intact, but on other hand, there are the lots of ecosystems are degraded, and the percentage of the degradation is different. So we have to check first of all that what type of degradation is occurring. So we divide our SERAN group with respect to the ecosystem, with respect to the with respect to the like challenges, goals, and exports. So we have a publication group that they try to collect all the different projects. We are the documentation group. Publications, you can publish small article on the restoration in our magazine, in our next magazines. Then we have a learning webinar. All are the free webinars, that is every 4 months. We have a membership groups. You can the part of the member of the SERAN as well as SER. As you know, once you are members of the SER, you can also the part of the SERAN and any other chapters or the sections. We have an advocacy group. Now we require some good person from the advocacy, that is it is a we are also welcome the from the other countries. And we have every month Zoom meeting that is related to the update of the SERAN. So you can select the membership in that, or you can directly message to the Laura Graham or as well as myself. So now I want to talk about the India. As you can understand from the globe, it is you can see the topic of cancer pass from the India, as well as so we face three different seasons in India: winter, summer, and monsoon. So according to three different seasons, you can see there are the three sides of the India have a coastal line or the coastal area. Then you can see there is a one side of the India have a Himalayan range. Then we have a terrestrial, we have a gulf, we have a grassland, forest, desert, ocean. So India is basically divided into 28 states, and each and every states have a different ecosystem, different climatic conditions, different populations, different challenges, even different languages. Each and every state have different languages. Mainly our main national language is Hindi, but however, each and every state have their own mother tongue, they have own language, and sometimes even they don't even understand the English also. Sometimes they don't understand the national language also. So they have a even each and every village have a different dialect, and 8 union territories. So and 750 to 800 districts all over the India. So basically, India is very dynamic with respect to the geological locations, with respect to the populations, and all the different professions. And we know conservationists are there, environmentalists are there, zoologists, botanists, geologists are there, and all about this basic science concept learning people are also there. So this is the basically all the different type of things, and it is very challenging. This is only about the India, right? But if you see the other countries of the Asia, like we have a Nepal, China, Mongolia, then Indonesia. All these are the Asian. So I have a list. Like we have 400 different members from the different countries of Asian countries, right? Even Sri Lanka is there. So now I have given the very basic concept about the ecosystem, and I go through the which are the different projects related to the restorations. Like we know the basic things. If why we want to restore, first questions. If any system is degraded, then only we require a restorations. But in India, lots of ecosystem are intact. We are very graceful, or we are very thankful that we living in the ecosystem which is very much close to the natural, not the degraded. On other hand, we have started the urbanizations, we lost our river on an urban area. So like India again divided into the city, suburb and villages. So most of the city, even if you have heard like Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Madras, Bangalore, sorry, so all these are the city have facing at present very much challenging pollutions, air pollutions. They degrade the river ecosystems, they degrade the ocean, they degrade the forest, even grassland, and the even desert also. If you have just seen the IUCN or UN website and you can just search about the Indian biodiversity and a good published paper, you can see the different biodiversity from invertebrate to vertebrate. So here there are the lots of courses which give the basic idea of the classical zoology, botany, as well as the environmental studies. Plus, they will also give the knowledge about the key species of the each and every different ecosystems. So basically, according to me, if you want to the restoration, first of all, you should know about the all classical zoology and botany, which is very helpful to know about the key species, even indigenous species, and even which species indicate what. For example, we have a Salvadera. Salvadera persica is a tree which is only or the which is grown in a large amount in a salt conditions. So it is indicated. Sorry.
Biodiversity of India.
Hello. Please mute yourself. If you have, I will solve the questions after half of my presentation. Is it fine? Okay. So like it is biodiversity and so Salvadora persica is very well grow in a salt condition. So if I want to know if I want to do the salt analysis, first I have to study the geology. I within the from vegetations, from the indigenous vegetations, I can understand, okay, this soil is very much salty. This soil require, and again we have also the problem of invasive species. So now I'm come to the stakeholders. Like you know very well, India is very dynamic things. So we have a university, colleges, and school as an educational part of that. We have student, professor, and lecturers, and the government organization, policymakers, which have a village. The nations divide into district divide into state and the villages, and each and every division have their own government body. Village have the panchayat, their own government body. State have a state level government body, then district level government body, and we know the national level, our PM, Prime Minister is there. So if I want to do some projects in India, village level, first of all, I have to take the permission from the Gram Panchayat. That is the village level government organizations. If I want to do the some state level, so first of all, if some habitat is degraded, for example, wetland, for example, village pond, then first of all, I have to take the permission from the panchayat. Then only I can go further. Or I have first of all do the study for the basic flora and fauna of the wetlands. Then only I go the further. Otherwise, or even if I have a secondary data, then I can go further for the restorations if it is a degraded one. And yes, there are the lots of village pond within the Vadodara city. I am from Vadodara district of Gujarat. Gujarat is a industrial state, very much dynamic state. So even Gujarat is a cultural state. We have a lots of industries. So most of the Vadodara Vadodara district have more than 100 village ponds are degraded in conditions. So first of all, I have to first things is have to get the funds. then take a permissions, or first I have to take a permissions, get the funds, and I can go further for the any type of restorations, right? Then we have a different research institute, NGOs, and the company that we have a lab, researchers, industrialists, business person. Then we want to collaborate with the different chapter of IUCN, NGO, company, right? International organizations are there. So it is the like, according to me, stakeholders are relative to the Asian countries and different states. So this is the all over. Most of the Asian countries have the same type of government organization or the stakeholders. Now I want to give the basic idea about the Gujarat state, that we have five different type of ecosystems. It has an ocean, which is again divided into intertidal, sandy, rocky, and muddy beaches. We have a wetlands. It can be the perennial and the seasonal. We have each and every state have a rivers as well as its own tributaries. Like if I'm talking about my state, like Gujarat, so Gujarat have more than 18 different type of rivers. Like it can be the perennial, it can be the seasonal. Even my city have a perennial river, but it is a degraded condition. So if I'm talking about, I don't have a photograph of it at present. So if I'm talking about river have divided into the area which is starting point, midpoint, and the end point. So starting point have a no state level authority. Middle point have it is a bank of river have a university. It is a well known MS University. So the middle point of the river is under the university governing body. End of the river is again under the governing body of the villages. So if I want to restore the river, so I can restore, if I am in a university, I can restore the river within the university part only, because I have to take the permission from the governing body of the university. Then only I can do the any changes in the river. So these are things. In Gujarat, we have a, just I go back in map. So you can see the green color. This is the Gujarat state. So you can understand we have a gulf, we have a desert, we have a forest, and forest range is from dry deciduous, evergreen forest, and dry forest. So dry deciduous forest, you maybe know about that. That is, though we have a seasons, 3 seasons at present, it is a winter going on. From March to every 4 months, we have a change in the seasons. So from March to it is a summer. From March to June, it is a summer. From June to October and then October end, it is a monsoon, and now it is a winter. So, and coastal line, rivers, desert, wetlands, all the 5 different ecosystem we have in Gujarat. So sometimes it is very challenging how to deal with the ecosystem. But yes, there are the different experts who deal for the forest restoration, who deal with the wetland restoration, and even agriculture ecosystem. As you all know, if you know, India is the agriculture country. Major economy generation is from more than 75% of the economy of India is based on the agriculture products. So it is very even, and Gujarat is the third largest state of the country, which give the revenue to the national government. So it is a business point of view, right? So it is a very challenging. We have to sometime convince the industrialist, as I have already told you in our stakeholders. Yes, there are the environmental impact assessment are there, and they have a CSR projects, they have a CSR funds. Means each and every industry, they have to give the funds to protect, to restore, the environment and flora and fauna of that particular area. For example, if I am talking about the IPCL, Indian Petrochemical Industry, is within the Vadodara city. So if they want, they are the industrial. So Indian government give the compulsion that they have to protect the environment. So they have to do the study of flora, fauna, then environmental impact assessment. Hope you understand the environmental impact assessment. So, I'm telling about the conservation projects which are carry on or the which are at present going on in the conservation, management, and restorations. So most of the projects are either it is a species specific, like conservation of seaweeds, conservation of desert cat, conservation of Hubara bustard, like species specific conservations. Second, it is a habitat specific conservations. So when I'm talking about the habitat specific conservation, it is about they conserve the forest with the native species, they conserve the desert with the native species, and if there are the no native species, exotic species are there, then with the help of indigenous people, with the help of local community, they aware the local communities and give the program, they train them, and again they try to restore the land or the habitat for that particular area with the indigenous people and the villagers. So restoration project in India is we have a wetland restoration project, soil restoration project basically have the like natural and the most of the people, I mean most of the farmers are doing chemical farming. You can understand there is insecticide, pesticide, fungicides. They use all these chemicals, but nowadays, farmers are shifting towards the natural farming or the organic farming, which is ultimately the soil restoration. As you know very well that soil is very important. Why? Because we know it gives the fauna, microbes, flora, fauna, and if we are consuming the chemicals from our food, and you know the biomagnifications, so because of the biomagnification, because of the contaminations, chemical contamination in food, it causes the cancers after 10 to 12, 20 years, and that we don't know. So nowadays people are very health conscious, and most of the villagers and the farmers understands that chemicals are very harmful to the soils as well as health. So they try to shift from chemical farming to the natural farming, and they have done very good things. Then we have a coastal area restorations. Again, it is under the project of the Ministry of Forest, and it is also restoration basically with deal with the corals. So you know corals. We have industrial effluents and industries problems in the coastal area and under some area of the Gujarat. So because of the industry, coral bleaching are there. So now government tried to restore the corals with some restoration projects. We have a rivers, you know very well that Ganga river is there, Yamuna. We had one project regarding the Yamuna Biodiversity project, that is the Yamuna restoration project. Then mangrove restoration, as we all know that mangroves are very good. It is a bio barrier from the flood condition in the coastal areas. So mangrove restorations is the key points where we can restore not only mangroves but the fauna, and we can fight against the flood or the tsunamis. We had a very good project of grassland in within the Gujarat, right? Gujarat have a bunny grassland. It is the one of the biggest grassland of the Asian countries. So, because of the anthropogenic pressure and and yes, but because of the some changes in the climatic conditions, so there are the lots of change in the weather. That the native grasses. So this bunny grassland have, I think so, more than 30 to 25 desert grass species, and all the species are very unique. They can only grow into the desert condition only, because this is very dynamic area. Whenever it has only 1 month, or only the 50 to 100 centimeter rainfall. So and that is only for the 1 month. So whenever is rainy seasons, all the grasses grow very fast. They complete their life cycles and they dry up during the summer seasons. They have a prolonged summer seasons, and even they have a different fauna. They have a bunny buffaloes, and the local people, indigenous people, only live on the on a milk of the bunny buffalo. So it is very hard, and so now there are the one research institute which try to conserve that grasses, because bunny buffalo depends on that native species of grasses, and it is a 3 to 4 feet. So, and that milk is very medicinal use. Then it is bunny buffalo is very hefty, and only the species which is present in the bunny area. So I think it is a vulnerable, but it is a domestic one. So not the wild one, but still it is a unique species. So people used to do the grassland restoration. Now forest land, there is a one person from SERAN, Ramesh is there. He is doing since last 10 years, more than 10 years. He's tried to restore the forest land with the indigenous people and with the forest people, with the tribals, and even they have a seed bank also. So even Gujarat, then Meghalaya, Bangladesh have a seed banks, and sometimes the individual person also do the seed restorations. So like India is going to do the traditional way restorations at present. Yes, with the minimum budget, with the minimum financial conditions, we have to do the restoration project. We have to do the like workshops and the conferences with the students, with the researchers, and even we also connect and communicate with the local people. So these are the things. Now I want to discuss about the wetlands. As we all know that the flora and fauna is a biodiversity, and wetland is very much important ecosystem of any area. That it not only provide the hydrological cycles, but also maintain quality and quantity of the groundwater. Even carbon sinks, it is a act as a sink carbon absorptions, right? Now again, I come to the wetlands. So talk about the Gujarat state that we had in 2023, 2000, 2003, we had 82 wetlands, but now it is 16. This is the back data, sorry. But now we have a less than 25 wetlands. So it is almost because of the urbanization, because of the industrializations. Now we know the all the wetlands in within the Gujarat, natural ecosystem and man-made ecosystem. So all over the world, there are the 2,200 Ramsar sites. In Gujarat, there are the 4 Ramsar sites. So we try to conserve the wetlands in form of Ramsar sites. Plus, we are doing regular basis the workshop with the indigenous people and fishermen who are regularly do the fishing in the wetlands. So we have a puddles, then we have a pits, we have some perennials and some perennials wetland, and we had some non-perennial wetlands. So we try to connect the researchers, fishermen, then villagers, then governing body, and the policy makers, and try to make a group. We do the research throughout it, then we get the reports and we try to give them that to the national and international organizations. So we have a data, then only we can make a policies for to conserve and restore the wetlands. So obviously, now these are the some key species like endangered, threatened species, and we all know that the wetlands are the kidney of the habitat or the any particular area. So this is the white ibis. So there are the list of the key species within the Gujarat. There are the threatened, endangered, vulnerable species present, even the migratory species. This is the best season in India where the migratory species come to the wetlands of the India as well as Gujarat. And we have a survey. We have a survey each and every seasons, like from December, January, February. We have a e-bird survey that how many species of migratory species of birds come to India, come to Gujarat, and we try to find out that species of the key species. For example, like if the water level is high, then we can only find out the ducks. If the temperature goes down, here today's temperature is about 18 degree, but if temperature goes down 12 to 11 degree, then we have a specific sociable lapping. This is a migratory, and only 3,000 species is present all over the world. So it is a key species. The area, because their food is very specific. So if I think if I've lost the agriculture, they have even agricultural land. They have a specific food. We have a rice paddy, right? We have a rice agriculture. We some area has a staple food is rice. So usually sociable lapping comes to the rice field. And if that field or that farmer will not grow the rice in the next year, then the sociable lapping cannot come because the food is not there. So we try to convince the farmers that please grow the rice in some part of the your farm, or not the only one farmers, but we try to convince the group of the farmers to try to grow the rice in a particular area. And there are some good farmers, they, yes, and again we come back the species. So these are the some basic photograph for, I mean, pictures of the wetland that we have a rivers of Lake, and you can see there are the houses like saltwater, mass water houses, and in Vadodara, the lake is connected to the river, and most of the urban conditions at the bank of the river, most of the houses and flats are built at. So it is a very good, like constructive, like we don't have some flood conditions because mainly most of the, if the I mean rainy season is there, if the heavy rain is there, most of the water goes into the lakes, and then lakes to the rivers, and the rivers to the oceans. So we know that wetlands is very important to provide the it is a flood control habitat. Even it is the aesthetic value, it importance of the like okay, if it is a network problem. So I'm audible now. Is it fine?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Thank you. So, it is again it maintains the groundwater quality. Like in India, we are there are the only some rivers in India, like only that the drinking water source is the pond and river only, and the groundwater. So whatever the rainwater store in the groundwater, that water we can drink. Otherwise, we don't have a we don't have any other source. Sorry, just a second. Next. Okay, as we all know, so this is the about India and Gujarat. So we have a volunteers, we have a researchers and a birders. We who are very enthusiastic about the birding, photography, the wildlife photographers, and so basically it is a group of people to include the researchers, wildlife photographers, birders, then professor lecturers, then students, school students, college students, and we try to learning the knowledge exchange is going on. Knowledge exchange is there. We try to solve their problem, and plus we compile all the data and give to the state government. So basically, habitat assessment tool we are using at present is flora fauna, obviously with the indicator and the checklist, industrial pressure or the human pressure. We do the water analysis, soil analysis with the some hands-on instruments like we had a pH meter and all that. Then we also analyze the human encroachment, then agriculture runoff. We try to convince the villagers and agricultures. So these are the some photographs of wetland, which is a Ramsar site. Vadhana is a Ramsar site of Gujarat. So we used to give the like it is a mud bunds. Bunds are nothing but the we provide the where it is a totally degraded one. So we try to provide the bunds for the pond, and so it will provide the natural conditions. It will provide the natural conditions for the bird, and it is also provide the habitat for the fish and the other amphibian species. Then we are trying to plant native trees at the edges of the pond, at the edges of the surrounding of the ponds. It can be the larger one or it can be the smaller one. Then we try to also keep the wood log. So you can see in pictures there is this is the bamboo one. Or the restore in a natural way. So it takes obviously 4 to 5 years to restore the any habitat. So these are the some examples, and these are of that we had kept the stone, and so whatever the water come from the roadside, it filters it and come into the pond. Second, we try to introduce the fish also. That is the native one, and we try to encourage the fishermen to do the fishing, because we have seen that if the fishermen try to provide the seeds and they try to the fishing, so the food chain is proper in it, the food chain goes in a proper way. So ultimately we don't want to do the next year nothing. We don't require to do any step for the next year for the restorations. So fishing is important. Then the bund or the heaps of the mud is important. Second, the wood log. It can be the bamboo. It is a native species over here, or any other wood log which is present in the. So it is a very simple. Then we also try to add the floating vegetations, which absorb the pollutant from the water. So float again. It is a native one. So now I want to conclude my presentations. I know it is within a very short time. It is very short presentations. But if you want to have any questions, you can ask me from the. You can ask my email. You can add my email. We can contact through email. You can be the part of the SERAN. You can be the part of SER. Uh, You can be the part of our university and anything. If you have a question, so learn from your restoration project worldwide and have ideas about how you overcome some of the biggest challenges, impossible funding, culture, technology in your work. Okay, what are some of the most effective strategies you have implemented in restoration project, particularly in arid or the degraded areas? Very good questions. So basically, first of all, we try to find out for example, arid area. We can take the desert. Even Vadodara is also semi-arid area. So first of all, we try to check out the seasons, their rainfall, temperature, humidity. Then we also native vegetation. So basic, we check the all the abiotic and biotic factors, and we try to connect with the funds. Like if I want to do the projects on a beginning, so I require funds. So we try to analyze, and yes, first we try to introduce the seeds during the monsoon seasons. So once we introduce the seeds of the native species, they go one in a one season. Then we try to connect with the irrigation system. So I have one example of mining project. So we had also, sorry, I forgot to mention the mining project, mining restoration area. So we have a mining area which is already vacant, already excavated, right? So they have it is the pH was, I just give the example so you can understand and you can apply the strategies for that. So it is a pH was the first time we had just visited, and the pH was only 2 pH, so it is totally acidic. Then we try to analyze the other things like other parameters of the soil. So obviously pH is there, it is acidic, it is a low carbon, oxygen nothing is there. Then we try to see the native species. So we just grow the native species within the nursery. Then once it grow in a proper size like 4 to 5 centimeter, 10 to 15 centimeters, then we transplant that native species into the soil. Then we try to add the different compost, manure, grasses, dry leaves, all these things, and even vermicompost. And plus we try to apply with the we know the acidic, so we try to apply that thing with the base, with the water. So at the time of irrigations, we try to add the base. And so the next year, after 6 months, the plants grow up. And once the plant grow, excuse me, microbial fauna is also growing. So once microbial fauna, we get the, after 3 years, we get the flower and we get the fruit on the vegetations. So it is very challenging that and the pH, yes, of course, the pH was from 2 to 7.58. And excuse me, we build the fauna also so these are the things in arid conditions. But most probably we are doing the plantation work in a particular area, so we get back the natural habitat within the microbes conditions. This is again good questions. How do you engage the local communities in the conservation efforts and role they play in the success of the projects? This is the very challenging part. Sorry, excuse me. This is very challenging part because a community level engagement is very challenging because each and every person have a different mindset. So what we are trying to do, that we go in the school and the college level. Once we tell them, they also involve in the project. Then we also like youngsters, so we do different workshop with the school level people, with the involve the old age people, because excuse me, old age people are very sensitive to the environment conditions, and old age people are very inclined to restore their area because they live in that area since last 20 to 30 years. So they have a attachment with the natures, they have a attachment with that area, so they try to convince their youngster also. So workshop, then different webinars, seminars, direct communications, hands-on training. We try to involve. There are the one village in Vadodara. So first we try to from the school we try to convince the school level childrens, and then school level children they have a friends of the college level students. They try to convince them, means they should be sensitize themselves for the conservation and restoration of habitat, which is that habitat which is they are living in that habitat. And also we try to give them the idea that if this habitat will lose, if that this habitat is not conserved, then ultimately that will affect on your health. Then they understand. So yes, good questions. Next, fourth one is, how do you measure the success of the ecological restoration efforts? Are there specific indicators that you focus on? Yes, of course. Very good questions. So first is indicator, as I mentioned in a project of mining area, like water and the soil parameters. Third is the indicator species of birds, and there are some fauna, reptiles like frogs and buffos, and some lizards are very much indicative to the quality and quantity of water. We have a crocodile. This is the one of the unique. We have a Vishwamitri and the more than 100 crocodiles within the Vishwamitri river. So again, it is an indicator species, though it is polluted, but yes, they can sustain in that. So yes, these are the indicators. One. And monitoring. So of course, monitoring with the like first year analysis, and after 2 years or 3 years, but it is a continuous project. So we have a seasonal data, we have yearly data. So we compile it, we correlate with the different statistical analysis, and we try to understand that what type of or what level of restoration we can do, and how we can conserve further. And obviously, we involve the different experts. The fifth one is to please mute other participants.
Like yo Saudi.
Excuse me. Please mute yourself. Please, others, mute yourself so I can go further. In what ways has technology enhanced your research and restoration project? Are there particular tools or method you find especially useful? Well, at present, there are some instrument which you can use for the fields. On the fields, you can measure the then even macrofauna, measure the quality and quantity of soil and water. So there are the hands-on tools are there. Then obviously there are for the statistical analysis, ecological analysis, and yes, of course, these are the methods. What emerging trend? Well, at present, it is not the emerging trend for the restoration, but yes, restoration at itself is a bird at present. So we try to restore all the things with the natural way, because because of the conditions, climatic conditions of India, because of climatic condition and weather pattern of the Asian countries, India, even Sri Lanka and the Mongolia. There are the one person who is working on the orangutan restoration. So they have different techniques, right? So it is the ecological practitioner over next 5 and the 10 years. Yes, we want to do the collaborations with the different countries, and we want to collaborate with the different experts who can do the different restoration projects. we can connect the different countries, and we want to connect the different countries, not the Asian countries, the European one, the US one, because we know that they are far ahead than us, because we at present we are conserve the habitat, and there are the 30 to 40% we are trying to restore the habitats. So it is now the phase of both the things together, and urbanization is going on, as we know that it is a developing country. So there are the lots of difference between the developed countries and the developing countries. So developing countries has a like
It's what?
there's a
Function.
phase of like it is a birding of restorations.
Dr. Kachesa,
Then
just add some water.
hope I have
For work. I need to be
I have
sober.
complete the all the questions, and if still if you have some more questions, you can ask me.
No
So
further question.
I think we cannot compare the any countries with respect to the restoration strategies and methods, because each and every countries have their own climatic conditions, habitat, ecosystems, and the capacity and the thought process, knowledge of the restoration. Yes, we have one restoration book from I think Jungle Escape. Ramesh have written the restorations methods, and our planning is to within the next 5 years we want to do some conference and workshop in India with the Asian countries and other countries also. Then we want to involve the indigenous people, if possible, in Denver in the next conference organized by SER. I want to involve the indigenous people like farmers, if possible. Then yes, we want to collaborate in next 5 years, next 10 years, next 10 years. You can be the part of the obviously SER and the SERAN. Then there are the different section chapters. So that's it. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Yeah, any question?
Yeah, thank you.
So I have completed very early. I don't know.
Thank you very much, Doctor. If you have any further questions for Sarah, you can reach out
Yes.
to us via email,
Can then
and
have a
also
question?
reach out to her via the chat box. She will address the questions later. So we are kind of running out of time. We'll be taking our next speaker, who is Dr. Sorry. Caitlin. Yeah, sure. Dr. Caitlin, are you present? Dr. Caitlin Burke. Oh yeah, she's here. Great. Yeah, so you have the floor. Okay. I will do that from my end. Yep.
Hello, I'm here.
Yeah, so you have the floor.
I have a PowerPoint presentation. Should I share that? Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, sure. I can hear you.
Okay. I have the presentation I can share. Is that the best way for me to do that?
Yeah, you can go ahead and share it.
Okay.